What's up, guys? It's Mike Dussault, Paul Perillo, Patriots.com. We're back. We just got off the field from our third OTA practice. And, Paul, as Bill Belichick let us know, Cam Newton not out there, still dealing with a little bit of hand issue, but it was a good day for the offense. They look like they're making some strides.
Yeah, I would say it was an opportunity for them to really snap back a little bit at the defense. We talked last week about how vocal the defense was, how enthusiastic and energetic they were. I thought the offense was a little better today, and they let them know about it. They let some of the defensive players know about it. It was mostly Jarrett Stidham, but some Brian Hoyer and Mac Jones as well. And I thought Hoyer in particular threw the ball really well. A couple of deep balls, one to Isaiah Zuber, I thought maybe would be the play of the day in 7-on-7s. So nice to see the offense bounce back a little bit.
Yeah, last week we saw the defense making plays. They were loud and, team periods. And this day it felt like the offense pushed back a little bit. You mentioned a couple of the guys, though, but I think Isaiah Zuber, a guy that, continues to kind of show up. Jacoby Myers had a big catch and, kind of noticed the offense rallied around him a little bit. It felt like the offense's energy was getting a little bit better. And, some of those offensive guys, it seems like they're starting to push the ball down the field a little bit more. Just overall, it seems like they're making strides as a team. You see the progress over the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think Zuber is a guy, Mike, that I think might be making a push. He was sort of on the edges of the roster last year, up from the practice squad, back and forth. And it seemed every time they had him on the active roster, they found a way to use him. They would put the ball in his hands on some end arounds, some throws in his direction as well. So I wonder if maybe they're looking at him, what exactly do we have here? Is this a guy that can sort of crack into that top four and maybe create a role for himself? But we should mention some of the veterans, again, are not out there. So that's giving more opportunities to some of these guys. And I think Zuber is a kid who is taking some advantage of that. He's a guy I want to watch a little bit more closely in training camp and see if he can continue to make some plays, because I think he's made a play or two every day that we've watched this spring. Let's see if he can do it in the summer with pads on too.
Now, you mentioned, some veterans have been in and out this whole kind of period. Some days some guys are there, some days guys are not. But someone who was there today, Dont'a Hightower, which was, a nice sight to see. Matt Judon as well was out there, Kyle Van Noy. So you're seeing some of those veterans kind of filling back in. Devin McCourty's been backing around as well. It's all kind of moving
that tackle.
Yeah, Trent Brown is a good one as well. So you're starting to see some of those veterans come in. Do you feel like that's kind of thing starting to ramp up next week for mandatory minicamp when everybody's
and we'll see. My guess, Mike, is we'll see pretty much everybody next week, other than guys that are injured. Now, Stephon Gilmore is a guy that I think will be noteworthy either way, whatever ends up happening. But yes, it was, it's good to see some of those pieces start to get back out there. And I thought Hightower looked great. He looked like he was in terrific shape. So that's the first we got a chance to see him on the field this spring. And I think that was probably the highlight, just to see him out there. Obviously, in shorts and helmets, you're not looking to see how they're playing, and things like that, because there's no real competition involved on the field. But it's been a while since we've seen 54, and he was out there today playing and getting a lot of reps. And you had made a mention to me during practice, Mike. Interesting to see him talking a lot with Van Noy, Matt Judon, those sort of veteran linebackers that you have to think are going to be a big part of this defense. Those guys spent some of the special teams portions of the practice chatting off to the side. God only knows about what.
Well, mini camp next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll be back. We'll have plenty of content for you guys. We'll be, doing video recaps, at least a couple of those next week. And, Paul, you can always tune in and listen to us every week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 12 to 2, Patriots Unfiltered. Yeah. We chalk Patriots all the time, don't we?
We'll get a 2-hour version of this little YouTube hit that we give you now. We'll give you everything you need to know, heading into that mini camp too. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll see mandatory next week, Mike. So that means we have to be there too.
We'd be there. Of course. Where else would we want to be? Hey, wrap up the off season, then we'll have the long, off period before training camp. But very exciting. Lots of stuff coming at you guys next week. We'll catch you then.